Okay, I am just going to be talking with you about how to tie a loop or a little knot at the end of a folded piece of string. And there are lots of reasons why we might have to do this, you know, kind of throughout our lives. But for us in art class, the main reason we want to know how to do this is there is going to come a time when you will be independently working on making friendship bracelets. And this is the first step in the kind of friendship bracelets that we'll be making here in art class. So what you do is you have your string and you're going to fold it in half. The way we do that is we bring our two ends together. And then we have this part at the end, okay? So now that I have this part, this is the part where I want to tie over here where it is folded. And I really only want to have a loop that is maybe about the size of the end of my finger, you know, that last joint of your pointer finger. What I'm going to do is kind of wrap this around that finger. I'm going to pinch it there and I'm going to pull my finger out. So now you can see it has crossed over itself. This part, this is the end, you can see, is going to go through the loop that I have made. So I'm just going to kind of bring that in, and I want to make sure it goes through both of those strings. And then I'm going to pull it. Now, if I find that like, oh boy, it's really, really long, then I'm just going to push this knot towards the little loop at the end. So what I have is now just a little tie here at the end. Okay, and at this point, that's where you would start making your friendship bracelet. I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm going to do it with 3 all together, because really when it comes time for us to do our friendship bracelets, that's how many strings we're going to be using. So I'm going to first grab my 3 strings and I'm going to make sure that all the ends are together. So 1, 2, 3. So this is the same thing that I just did, but this time I'm going to do it with 3 strings all together. And what I find down here is now one of my strings is considerably longer than the others. So I'm going to even that out just by cutting off the extra off of the longest one. Okay, so now they're all the same length. What I'm going to do now to make sure that I get to the middle of my strings is I'm going to bring the ends all together. And you see this? I'm going to pull that. And now I know that this is my middle. And this is where I would want to make the string. Now, I'm using heavier yarn than we would use. When we do our friendship bracelets, we're going to use what's called embroidery floss. And I'm using this because it's bigger, it's easier to see what I'm doing. Okay? But anyway, you will wrap it just like we did with the one string. Wrap all of these together around your finger. Pinch it in place so that you can pull your finger out. Now you don't have to pull it so tight that like, oh, my finger's turning purple. No. Wrap it around loosely. Pull your finger out. And now this is the loop where you're going to push those through. And then just pull it up. And you're ready to begin. Now re-watch the video if you don't have it. Just start with doing 1. Just start with doing 1. So you've got your, I'm going to do it one more time just so you see. I've pulled my ends together. I know that this is my middle. I'm going to loosely pull it around, make a loop. I'm pinching it in place. I'm pulling my finger out and I'm going to push this through the loop I've made. Pretty easy.